Rawteur. In 2008, ABC aired their new competition show called Wipeout. The Tokyo Broadcasting System didn't hesitate to file a lawsuit stating in court documents that the ABC show should be renamed to Swipeout for their blatant copycat approach of MXC, Ninja Warrior, and 4 other TBS-owned shows. Let's look at 7 of the copyright infringement allegations side by side. Their claims extended to the format, sequence of events, intro segment, tone, scene setups, narration, dialogue, and of course, many of the challenges. Number 1, pulls apart.
Where's the pole?
It's right in front of her. Let's see how she does. That was it.
Letter K, subsection 1, specifically alleges that Wipeout copied Takashi's Castle's obstacle course, where contestants must jump onto a floating island using a long pole.
Oh! And he went down hard there, Ken.
Side note, when TBS licensed Takashi's Castle for American audiences via Spike TV, they dubbed the audio with comedic commentary and rebranded the show as MXC.
There he is, starting off nicely. Got a good grip, charging forward.
Oh, looks like his shaft went blasted right there, Vic.
I think you are right, Ken.
The challenge was simple. Contestants used the pole to launch themselves onto a foam platform while trying not to fall into the water. Wipeout showcased a modernized version of this same obstacle. The key difference? In Wipeout, contestants slide into the pole, while in MXC, they could run with the pole to gain momentum. Minor changes, sure, but at its core, it's undeniably the same game. Number 2 and number 3, block run and floating obstacles. The second and third obstacles in the lawsuit refer to an obstacle where contestants leap onto or run across blocks or inner tubes, and a course where contestants traverse a series of floating obstacles. On Takashi's Castle, this was called Omaha Beach. Number 4, log drop. TBS claimed that Wipeout lifted the roller game obstacle, aka log drop, where contestants had to leap over or run across spinning logs. Number 5, large balls. This one is tricky. The allegation describes an obstacle where contestants must jump over large balls, but this is such a generic concept that it could apply to multiple challenges. My best guess? MXC's Boulder Dash and Wipeout's Barrel Run, but I'm not entirely sure. Interestingly, Ninja Warrior, known as Sasuke in Japan, had an obstacle called Giant Ball, but contestants didn't jump over it, they rolled the ball instead. Apparently, it was so difficult that it didn't last long. But if you have a better guess for number 5, let me know in the comments. Number 6, rotating surfboard. TBS alleged that Wipeout copied their rotating surfboard challenge, where contestants had to dodge obstacles while standing on a spinning platform over water. At first glance, Wipeout's version looks similar, but there's a key difference. MXC's version,
he's addicted to reruns of Gilligan's Island and admits to an unhealthy interest in Mrs. Howell,
had contestants ride the rotating arm. Wipeout's version,
Sister Bella's been collected by the pole, and she's taken out her brother as they travel to another pole.
required contestants to jump over the arm. Close, yes. Identical, not exactly. Number 7, jumping bars. TBS accused Wipeout of copying an obstacle where contestants must jump from one beam or platform to the next. Now, I searched for nearly half an hour and couldn't find any Wipeout obstacle even remotely close to Ninja Warrior's jumping bars. The closest thing would be a generic monkey bar challenge, but that's not even the same concept. TBS made even more generic claims, arguing that Wipeout also copied a contestant sliding down a large slide and a contestant swinging from a rope onto a platform. Now, this isn't exactly groundbreaking legal evidence, but despite these generic arguments, TBS still came prepared. They submitted 104 episodes to support their case. One of the co-creators of MXC even went public with his frustrations, calling Wipeout a direct theft of the format. In an interview, he claimed that ABC and Endemol not only copied their show, but also shut down a fan-uploaded YouTube video comparing MXC and Wipeout, seemingly to erase evidence of similarities. But ABC wasn't backing down in their response. ABC denied nearly all allegations and took a bold legal stance. They argued that game show formats aren't protected under copyright law, labeling TBS's claim as an attempt to control the entire obstacle course genre. They cited fair use, claiming that even if similarities existed, they fell under legally permissible entertainment tropes. And in a move straight out of a corporate playbook, they argued that TBS's lawsuit was invalid because obstacle courses are a common concept, not a unique intellectual property. Endemol, the production company behind Wipeout, echoed these points. They emphasized that Takashi's Castle wasn't even an original concept, as obstacle-based challenges have existed in physical game shows for decades. ABC also made a compelling argument that TBS was trying to claim ownership over an entire genre, a stance similar to what the judge ruled in the Superman vs. Greatest American Hero case, where the court found that broad ideas like a superhero archetype aren't copyrightable, only their specific expression. The court seemed to lean in ABC's favor, and the judge ruled that many of TBS's claims were too broad. So while Wipeout clearly took inspiration from MXC, that alone wasn't enough to prove copyright infringement. This ruling signaled that if the case went to trial, TBS would likely face an uphill battle, proving that Wipeout was a direct ripoff rather than just part of a long-running TV trend. Rather than risk an outright loss, TBS and ABC quietly settled the case in December 2011. As part of the agreement, the lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice, meaning TBS couldn't refile the same claims in the future. The details of the settlement were never disclosed, leaving open the question of whether any financial exchange took place. One thing is certain: Wipeout remained on the air for years after the lawsuit, seemingly unaffected by the legal battle. TBS may not have won the case, but their argument raised an interesting legal dilemma. How much can a network borrow before it becomes theft? Years later, Wipeout saw a brief comeback. In April 2021, TBS revived the show with new hosts, including John Cena. The reboot introduced new obstacles and challenges, aiming to capture a modern audience while retaining the original's charm. However, despite the enthusiasm, the revival faced challenges, and in February of 2025, TBS announced the cancellation of Wipeout after 2 seasons, citing high production costs and a strategic shift in programming focus. Now, in my opinion, a lot of TBS's evidence was pretty generic, but it was obvious to me and anyone watching Wipeout that it borrowed heavily from the TBS properties. But was it enough to be considered copyright infringement, and was TBS's show even copyrightable in the first place? And this wasn't even the most ridiculous legal battle. Check this one out next.